Jim and Pam. Jim and Pam's friendship forms the emotional backbone of the entire series. They start as coworkers with obvious chemistry, but what makes their bond special is how it develops from attraction into genuine partnership. Over 9 seasons, they navigate the messy reality of turning a workplace crush into something real. Their friendship matters because it grounds the show in authentic human connection. While the office around them descends into chaos, Jim and Pam remain each other's anchor. They support one another through career changes, family struggles, and personal growth. What people remember most is how their relationship feels earned rather than rushed, making every moment between them feel genuinely earned. Dwight and Jim. Dwight and Jim's dynamic is built almost entirely on antagonism that secretly hides mutual respect. Jim spends much of the series pranking Dwight, putting his stapler in jello and impersonating him for laughs. Yet beneath all this mockery, there's an unspoken understanding between them. When it truly matters, they have each other's backs. This friendship works because it's complicated in a way that feels real. Not everyone becomes best friends with people they clash with, but sometimes those relationships are the most memorable. By the final season, their dynamic has softened enough that the audience recognizes the bond was always there, just hidden under layers of competitive tension. Dwight and Angela. Dwight and Angela share a bond rooted in their shared values and worldview. Both are morally rigid, deeply committed to their jobs, and somewhat isolated from the rest of the office. Angela respects Dwight's dedication and intensity, even when she doesn't approve of his methods. Dwight, in turn, admires Angela's principles and determination. Their friendship lacks the warmth of other office relationships, but it carries a quiet loyalty. They understand each other on a fundamental level that transcends the typical office camaraderie. This matters because it shows that meaningful friendships don't always require constant fun or emotional vulnerability. Sometimes friendship is simply about finding someone who shares your core values and respecting them for it. Michael and Dwight. Michael and Dwight's relationship is shaped by a powerful dynamic of admiration and need. Dwight sees Michael as a mentor and friend, while Michael sees Dwight as his most loyal employee and closest confidant. Michael uses Dwight for emotional support and validation in ways that border on unhealthy, yet Dwight remains steadfastly devoted. This friendship reveals something profound about human connection. Sometimes people bond through need rather than equality. Michael is insecure and seeks constant reassurance, while Dwight is eager to provide it. Their dynamic can feel uncomfortable at times because it lacks reciprocity, but it's also deeply human. Michael eventually recognizes Dwight's importance, especially in the later seasons, and their relationship matures into something more balanced and touching. Michael and Aaron's. Michael and Aaron develop a father-daughter style friendship that emerges when Aaron arrives at Dunder Mifflin. Both are optimistic and emotionally needy in their own ways, seeking connection and approval from others. Aaron finds in Michael the parental figure she's been missing, while Michael finds in Aaron a source of unconditional enthusiasm that fills an emotional void. Their scenes together are often tender because they're both wounded people finding comfort in each other. Aaron's energy matches Michael's need to be liked and appreciated, creating a relationship that feels almost therapeutic for both of them. This friendship matters because it shows how people can heal each other without needing to understand everything about one another's past or circumstances. Sometimes shared emotional need is enough to create something genuine and lasting. Pam and Jim's friend group. Pam gradually becomes integrated into Jim's social circle, a shift that represents her personal growth throughout the series. Initially, she spends time with office outsiders like Ryan, but as her confidence builds, she joins Jim in friendships with the more established office members. This inclusion marks her transition from insecure receptionist to someone comfortable in her own skin. The friendships she builds with Dwight, Michael, and others feel earned because they happen naturally over seasons rather than overnight. Her journey into deeper office friendships also highlights how environment and self-perception shape social connections. Pam becomes a true member of the office family not through forced bonding, but through showing up authentically and allowing relationships to develop at their own pace. Ryan and the office. Ryan's friendships within the office are complicated by his own ambition and insecurity. He starts as a temp and develops a crush on Kelly that clouds his social relationships. Later, as he becomes a temp again after his executive failure, his relationships with others shift dramatically. Nobody truly considers Ryan a close friend, yet he remains entangled in the office social ecosystem. His lack of genuine friendships despite years in the office is telling. While others bond through shared experiences and mutual support, Rainn remains somewhat isolated. People interact with him out of obligation or conflict rather than genuine affection. This matters because it shows that not everyone in a group becomes part of the inner circle, and sometimes that's a reflection of someone's choices rather than circumstance. Kelly and Aaron's. Kelly and Aaron's friendship is unexpectedly genuine despite their surface differences. Kelly is absorbed with gossip, fashion, and social status, while Aaron is innocent and earnest, yet they find common ground in their shared love of pop culture and their need for validation and friendship. Their dynamic works because they accept each other without judgment, something that's surprisingly rare in the office. Kelly can be cruel and manipulative with others, but she shows genuine warmth toward Aaron. Aaron, in turn, doesn't judge Kelly for her superficiality. They laugh together, share secrets, and offer each other the friendship they both desperately need. This pairing demonstrates that friendships often transcend logic or external similarity. Sometimes people simply click, and the reasons don't need to be analyzed or understood. Oscar and Kevin. Oscar and Kevin develop a quiet friendship built on intelligence and shared perspective. Oscar respects Kevin's mathematical aptitude despite his casual demeanor, while Kevin appreciates Oscar's knowledge without feeling threatened by it. They represent a different kind of bond, one based on mutual intellectual respect rather than emotional dependence or constant interaction. Their friendship exists in the background, easy and uncomplicated. They don't need to constantly affirm each other or share deep secrets. Instead, they simply exist as people who understand and accept one another. This friendship matters because it shows that offices need different kinds of relationships to function. Not every connection needs to be dramatic or emotionally intense to be real and valuable. Pam and Ryan's. Pam and Ryan's friendship begins platonically, but carries undertones of something more complicated for Rainn. He has feelings for her early in the series, while Pam is unaware or chooses not to acknowledge them. Over time, they develop a genuine friendship based on shared experiences and mutual support. Pam doesn't judge Rainn for his ambitions or failures, offering him kindness even when others don't. Rainn, once he moves past his romantic feelings, respects Pam's creative growth and personal development. Their friendship demonstrates how people can move past unreciprocated feelings toward authentic connection. It also shows that the office, despite its dysfunction, allows for people with very different backgrounds and goals to find common ground and care for one another. Jon Snow and Samwell Tarly. Jon Snow and Samwell Tarly form one of the series' most genuine friendships, built on mutual loyalty that transcends social hierarchy. Sam arrives at the Wall as an outsider, overweight and seemingly weak, yet Jon sees past these surface qualities to recognize his intelligence and heart. Their bond develops through shared hardship and genuine affection rather than obligation or circumstance. Jon becomes Sam's protector and closest confidant, while Sam offers Jon emotional support and unwavering loyalty. What makes their friendship remarkable is how it remains consistent even as both men face impossible choices and rise to positions of power. They never betray each other's trust, even when doing so might serve their personal interests. This friendship matters because it represents the show's rare portrayal of unconditional male companionship in a world built on betrayal and self-interest. Arya and Nymeria's. Arya and Nymeria's friendship exists primarily through memory and symbolic connection rather than sustained interaction. Nymeria is Arya's direwolf, and their bond represents Arya's wildness and independence in a world trying to constrain her. The direwolf serves as both protector and reflection of Arya's true self. When Arya is forced to send Nymeria away to protect her, it marks a turning point where Arya must learn to survive without her closest companion. Years later, Arya encounters Nymeria again, having grown into a fearless warrior and leader of her own pack. Their reunion, brief though it is, demonstrates how bonds formed in childhood can persist even when separated by years and tragedy. This friendship matters because it shows how companionship shapes identity and how the memory of loyalty can sustain someone through unimaginable suffering. Brienne and James. Brienne and James' friendship emerges slowly through shared trials and mutual respect earned in the most difficult circumstances. They begin as enemies, with James dismissing her as a woman playing at knighthood. Yet through their journey together, he witnesses her skill, honor, and uncompromising principles. Brienne, in turn, sees beneath James' arrogance to the complicated man underneath. Their bond is forged through genuine need and survival, and it becomes profound in its own way. They support each other despite coming from opposite worlds, and despite knowing that their circumstances may never allow for anything beyond friendship. What makes their connection significant is that it's built on true understanding rather than romance or family obligation. Both characters are fundamentally isolated, and in each other they find recognition and acceptance. Brienne and Sansa. Brienne and Sansa develop a protective friendship centered on loyalty and duty. Brienne swears an oath to Sansa, committing herself to the younger woman's safety and well-being. This relationship transforms both of them. Sansa, who has learned to distrust most people, finds in Brienne someone whose protection comes without hidden agenda or manipulation. Brienne finds purpose and meaning in serving someone she comes to genuinely care for. Their bond grows stronger as Sansa matures into a political leader, and Brienne remains her steadfast supporter. This friendship matters because it shows how formal duty can evolve into genuine affection and mutual respect. Brienne's unwavering presence allows Sansa the safety to grow into herself, while Sansa's trust validates Brienne's worth in a world that has often dismissed her. Tyrion and Bronze. Tyrion and Bronn's friendship is built on pragmatism, humor, and mutual survival. Bronn begins as a sellsword hired by Tyrion, motivated purely by payment and self-interest. Yet through their adventures together, a genuine bond develops between them. Tyrion respects Bronn's competence and lack of pretense, while Bronn appreciates Tyrion's wit and intelligence. They share moments of dark humor that acknowledge the brutality of their world without losing sight of their humanity. Their friendship lacks sentimentality, yet it contains real affection and loyalty. Tyrion trusts Bronn with his life repeatedly, and Bronn repeatedly proves himself worthy of that trust. This friendship matters because it demonstrates that bonds can form between people with completely different backgrounds and moral codes. Sometimes shared experience and mutual respect are enough to create something lasting. Tyrion and Daenerys. Tyrion and Daenerys develop a friendship rooted in political alliance that deepens into genuine care and admiration. Tyrion serves as Daenerys' hand, offering her counsel and strategy while she provides him purpose and validation. He believes in her cause in ways he's never believed in anything before. Daenerys, in turn, values Tyrion's perspective and respects his intelligence. Their friendship is complicated by power imbalance and unspoken tension, yet it remains one of the most significant relationships both characters experience. They understand each other's isolation and outsider status in profound ways. What makes their bond matter is that it transcends the transactional nature of most relationships in the series. Both are capable of betrayal, yet they choose loyalty to each other for as long as it's possible. Their friendship becomes a casualty of fate rather than circumstance or choice. Missandei and Daenerys. Missandei and Daenerys share a friendship based on genuine devotion and emotional intimacy. Missandei begins as a translator and servant, yet Daenerys comes to trust her completely and treats her as an equal. Missandei offers Daenerys something rare, unconditional support without manipulation or hidden agenda. She is the closest thing Daenerys has to a true friend, someone who cares for her as a person rather than a queen. Their relationship is built on shared experience of being outsiders and displaced people finding home with each other. Daenerys values Missandei's counsel and perspective, while Missandei finds in Daenerys someone worth serving and believing in. This friendship matters because it shows how genuine care can develop between people of different stations when one chooses to see the other's humanity. Missandei's loss becomes one of Daenerys' most devastating experiences because the love between them was real. Arya and the Hound. Arya and the Hound develop an unlikely friendship born from necessity and gradual mutual respect. The Hound is tasked with keeping Arya safe, yet their bond transcends this obligation. He becomes her protector and in many ways her surrogate parent figure. Arya, violent and hardened by trauma, finds in him someone who doesn't judge her for her darkness. The Hound sees her as a person rather than a pawn, offering her gruff care and brutal honesty. Their friendship is marked by deep affection hidden beneath layers of sarcasm and aggression. The Hound would sacrifice himself for Arya, and she would do the same for him. What makes their relationship significant is that it shows how broken people can heal each other through acceptance and presence. Neither tries to change the other or impose morality. They simply exist together in their shared damage. Sansa and Margaery. Sansa and Margaery form a friendship that begins as political maneuvering, but develops into genuine affection and support. Margaery recognizes Sansa's intelligence and potential, treating her as a confidant rather than a rival. She offers Sansa guidance in navigating the treacherous politics of King's Landing, while also providing her with genuine friendship and female solidarity. Sansa, starved for kindness and trust, finds in Margaery someone who seems to genuinely care for her well-being. Their bond is one of mutual respect and admiration, though it's complicated by Margaery's own manipulations and political ambitions. What makes their friendship matter is that despite the games being played, real affection exists between them. Both women are intelligent and capable, and they recognize these qualities in each other. Their friendship becomes a brief moment of peace and female alliance in a world dominated by male power and violence. Brienne and Pod. Brienne and Pod develop a mentorship that evolves into a genuine friendship built on loyalty and care. Pod follows Brienne out of devotion, and she accepts his companionship with gruff appreciation. She teaches him skills while he offers her unconditional support and affection. Brienne is rarely kind, yet she shows Pod a level of patience and investment she offers few others. Pod, in turn, is fiercely loyal, willing to follow Brienne anywhere. Their bond demonstrates how teaching and learning can create deep connections between people. Brienne's influence shapes Pod into a better person and knight, while his faith in her reaffirms her own sense of purpose and worth. This friendship matters because it shows how acts of care and investment create reciprocal bonds that sustain both people through hardship and loss.